Okay, now we're going to try multiplying and dividing rational expressions. So it's still a lot of simplifying. We're just adding a few operations to it. Before we start off, take a look at simplifying with opposites. So like number 1, we have 3 minus y over y minus 3. We can rewrite the top. We take out a negative, and it'd be a negative 3 plus y over y minus 3. Which again, the top can be rewritten as a negative of a y minus 3 over y minus 3. So in turn, this essentially just turns into a negative 1 when you have opposites like that over top of each other. Because these cancel out, anything over itself cancels out, and you're left with a negative on top and a 1 on the bottom, so overall, a negative 1. When you get opposites, you get that negative 1. So let's put this into something a little closer to what you'll get. 25 minus z squared, we can factor that. It's difference of squares. So the top can factor to that. The bottom, what multiplies the 25 and adds the negative 10? That's z minus 5 times z minus 5. I just rewrote this one right here. I took out the negative so I can switch the order. 5 plus z can stay 5 plus z. All over this z minus 5. I'm going to write it as squared since there's 2 of them. But one of these will cancel out with this here. So I have a negative 5 plus z all over z minus 5. And that's your final answer. For now, we're going to go without the exclusions. Just keep in mind that they are still here, but for these, because it's a lot of work, I don't want you to have to worry about it. Okay, multiplying with these. The whole goal is to get each part broken down as far as you can. So basically factor each side. Now for number 3, it's already been factored. There's no sense in multiplying the top to the top, bottom to the bottom, because there's a lot going on here. All of this stuff, if you multiply it out, is going to be very large. So we don't have to deal with that. So factor everything, and then we can cross-reduce. Cross-reduce here, here, and then we should also look if we can reduce up and down. In this case we can't, so we're left with x minus 10 times x plus 4 all over 10. That's our final answer. And again, we would have exclusions here, like x can't be certain numbers, but right now we're not worrying about it. So now instead of multiplying these two out, like you don't want to multiply the bottom to the bottom to get a bigger polynomial. So let's just factor each part. Let's factor the top. Now this is one with something in front of the leading degree, so that means we should try the AC method. I'll write it off to the side here. So I'm looking for something that multiplies to 40 and adds to negative 13. And those numbers are negative 8 and negative 5. Then I'm just rewriting this into this here. It's the same thing, just the middle term has been changed. And now I'm going to factor left side and factor right side. Make sure that the ones in the parentheses match up, and then I can factor that out. So now I'm just rewriting the top. So that way I can look for anything that will cross-reduce. These cross-reduce, and we're left with m minus 1 over m minus 7. Number 5 here, if you want to give this one a try, pause the video and try it, and then I'm going to work it here in a second. Okay, I factored everything that I could, and now I'm looking for things that either cross-cancel or anything over top of each other. So looking at cross-canceling, I don't see anything, but it looks like the x plus 6's over here will cancel. The x plus 8's will cancel. And now we need to write what we have left over. We have an x plus 10 on top. And then we can go ahead and multiply 2 times 9, which is 18x squared on the bottom. That's our final answer. Okay, we're only going to do one example of dividing because it's very similar to multiplication. It's just like when you divided by fractions in the past, you have to change division into multiplication and then flip the second fraction. So I'm going to kind of combine steps here by factoring where I can and then flipping while factoring as well, and I'll show you what I mean here. Since I had to rewrite the first one anyways, I went ahead and factored the top. I'm going to change this to multiplication, and now I need to flip this fraction here. But since I got to flip, I'm still going to go ahead and factor this. I just know it's going to go on the bottom. So now since I flip this, this top is now this bottom, but it's been factored. And then we have the x minus 10 on top. Looking for anything to cross cancel, x minus 10s, x minus 7s, and we're left with an x plus 9 over x minus 4. So dividing is just like multiplication. You just have to do that extra step of changing to multiplication and flipping the last fraction. Give the practice a try, and if you have any questions, please ask.